What's good, y'all? It's Michael here, and I'm back with another review. This time being a new artist that I just found out about recently named Fabiana Palladino. Yeah, this is a new artist that I found out on the top of this month, and she kind of makes R&B music, pop music, soul music, all in a bunch. It's like a little hybrid. And I think what makes her stick out to me is that like she kind of plays around with the timelines of all those genres, like maybe like 80s soul and then like 90s R&B, and then it would be contemporary R&B that's coming out today, and like she'll mix it all into one, and she makes dance music as well. So that's what kind of makes her stick out to me like a sore thumb. So yeah, she did this album with a talented producer named J. Paul, and he's from London. And yeah, he did his thing on this record. This album to me is like so fun and can put me up in any mood, like any if I'm having like a down mood or something like that, and I'm feeling bad, like this album just brightens up my day. And so Closer, it's the first track on the album. That was just an insane opener to me because it had this groovy bass line and the drums were like kicking, man. And she wastes no time to bring in this energy and just a smooth delivery. And she has these lyrics like, strange relationship, what are you to me? I don't even talk about it, but everyone can see we're getting closer. And I feel like that's like a gist of the song, to be honest. And the instrumental itself, it's just so heaven-like. And she just adds on to it with her vocals. Can You Look in the Mirror? The second song is actually the second song, not the third or fourth. But yeah, this one, I think this was the single. I want to say it was the first single off this track. I mean, off this album. Wow, I'm messing up today. I'm so sorry. But like I said before, this is the first track I heard by her, and I just fell in love. It just makes you want to get up and dance, and it'll put anyone in a great mood, like I said. And it sounds like the type of stuff my parents played around the house, like when I was a kid, when they were cleaning and just doing whatever the case may be, like laundry or whatever it was. And yeah, like it just took me back. And it was just so pretty and just luscious. If I would have to give it a knock, it was just kind of underwritten. Like the lyrics were kind of underwritten, so it wasn't anything like too spectacular. I feel like she kept repeating certain lines, but that's okay. That song will literally turn heads and make you a fan of this artist because she's great. I Can't Dream Anymore. And this is the first slow song off the album, and what a huge contrast from the previous two. Like Closer was a slow song, but it was still like groovy, and Can You Look in the Mirror was just so like dancey, but this one is like a ballad. This is the first ballad, and I like how she's flexing her skills and the diversity in the song. And the guitar solo in the end, dude, that shit right there was just wow. Like I was like, when I first heard, I was like, wow, there's no way she's doing this. Like, what? Like, what's going on? And it just has the perfect dynamic with the synths that she brought to the table and the plucky keys that she also brought with it too. So yeah, that song right there is just I love that song. So Give Me a Sign is the next track, and it feels like it's perfectly placed right after the last one. This song to me is great as she keeps phrasing "Give me a sign" throughout the back end of the track, and the instrumental just starts to get more layered and luscious, and it's just like wow, it just feels like this like explosion. Like I said, it's a slow burn. What she's saying and how she's saying it, it kind of stays the same throughout the duration of the song, but the instrumental is like it's just involved in this evolution. It just keeps getting like crazier and crazier, and like more things are added, and it just sounds so amazing. That song is just I was like, wow, like what none of these songs sound the same. At this moment, like when I first heard, I was like, none of these songs sound the same. And she's on a roll right now. Like she's like 4 for 4 right now. So I Care is the next song, and this one's actually featuring J. Paul. And I would argue this is the catchiest song off the album. It's a little underwritten for me. And also, I know J. Paul did most of it, most, if not all, the production in this project, but he really went in on this song. He was on this song as well, and he had a strong performance. His verse was kind of short, but I loved it. I love the track, and this instrumental, this song is just so it's not much going on. It's like kind of like skeletal. I love those tracks that say the least but do the most with them. And yeah, this shit right here leaves an instant impact on you. And that's why I love this song. Stay With Me Through the Night. I think as of right now, this is probably the most popular song from the project. And it makes sense because it sounds so funky and upbeat. And that warping synth in the background gives it an early 80s vibe that I love. And Fabiana's performance on this is one of the best ones by far on the album. This song as a whole best represents her direction on the whole project. Like to me, it's like this song, and then it's closer the ones that kind of best that you can kind of best identify her as an artist and you can kind of see her vision. Because this one right here is just wow, like it's incredible. And she really did her thing on this one. Shoulda is my least favorite song on here, if I'm gonna be honest. Like the hook is memorable and it's very passable. It's explosive as well, but I just every time the song comes on, I just kind of give it a little skip, and I'm just like, nah, this isn't the way for me. I really don't like it, but that's okay. That's okay. She was due for one because she was like 5 for 6 or 5 for 5 at that moment. Deeper. I'm conflicted with the song because I am in love with the production, but I'm not a huge fan of the lyrics. Like they're kind of redundant throughout the whole song, but her performance on this one is just outstanding, man. Like she doesn't get carried by the instrumental, but man, it gets the job done. And I love the playful synths just laying out throughout the song. It kind of gives me a discovery feel, and it's just incredible, man. Like it takes me back to Daft Punk era, and that shit right there is just beautiful. I think this next track right here, In the Fire, this one was the one where I was like, this is probably one of my favorite songs of the year so far. And when I heard this one, I didn't even realize that the album was about to end. I'm like, wow, we only got one more song to go. And I love every track but one. And I was like, if these next two songs hit, man, this is gonna be one of my favorite albums of the year. But this song right here, In the Fire, bro, this is the first song that I instantly repeated after playing it once. And I think I played it like 3 times in a row. And it's the hardest song on the album. And I think Fabiana fleshes out her best lyrics on here. And she says, like, feet down, keeping on terra firma, moving over the tundra. I can see it in the distance. There's a tower. Earthbound, my memory is in ruin. Landscape is in communion. I can swear that I've been here before somehow. It must have been a dream or in virtuality. I just love the imagery that she puts in place on here on this track. It's just, man, it's literally incredible. And the bouncy production and that insane flute throughout the chorus. This song, like, this song right here is just, dude, I want to hear it right now. That's how good it is. Like, that song, the flute on here is just that shit stuck in my head the entire like the first time I heard it, it stuck in my head throughout the entirety of that day. Like that song is just immaculate to me. It's just incredible. And it's no doubt one of my top songs of the year. Like I can talk about this song all day. It's so layered and like I said, the percussion is just it's just booming and Fabiana has like I think her best lyrics on here, one of her best performances on here. And yeah, no, this one is stamped as one of my favorite songs of the year, without a doubt. Forever is the last song. And I thought this was a beautiful outro, and it felt like the end of a ride that we had just been on. And it really explains the closure that she's been fiending for with this relationship. Basically saying no matter what happens in the future, she'll always miss that partner, which isn't the deepest thing in the world, but I found it sweet. Yeah, no, that's really the whole project for me. Like it's kind of short. It's I think like 38 minutes long. It doesn't feel like a chore, and you can literally listen to it twice in about like an hour and 15 minutes. Like, and that's booming for me. Like, I'm good. I'm good with that. So, yeah, no, she definitely left a very a good impression for this to be her first album. I know J. Paul is like a very known producer that's been making music for like a decade plus, and he's really been out here grinding. But he really put together like a great like body of work with Fabiana, and that shit was just hats out to them without a doubt because they did their thing. And for this to be her debut, there's not a lot of debuts that I hear for the first time, and I'm just like, yeah, no, like this shit's insane. This shit's incredible. And I know I've been saying that word a lot throughout this whole video, but man, that's just what it is. If I can name one word, it'll be incredible for this because this is just a debut. But my whole conclusion on this is wow, like I just said, what a debut. And I love how vulnerable she just sounded throughout this whole album. And she really showcased so much diversity. in such a small sample size. And I think her and Jake Paul are a perfect matchup. And this is definitely one of my favorite albums of the year. If I hadn't said it before, I'm gonna say it now. It's one of my favorite albums of the year. And I think 2024 started out completely strong out the gate. At least the first quarter of this year started out strong out the gate. I never heard of Fabiana Palladino, but now I'll be looking forward to anything she releases. And, she got a fan in me. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. That's the end of the album. That's the end of this video. And thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in, subscribing to me. Yeah, no, I'm gonna try to punch out more videos. I'm gonna try to put out more content, because I do have a lot of things to talk about. I have a few albums in mind. Like and subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with anybody that you feel like, is a super music head. And yeah, I catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.